Hello again, all master. Sorry, I'll start that one again. Life Path Master number 22. This is your June reading for 2019. Sorry, I've got my tongue muddled. I'm still doing it, getting it muddled up. Anyway, I should do a take two on that one, but I won't. All of my videos are uncut, so that can be one of my blooper ones. I've already shuffled your cards and split the deck. We're going to do a Celtic Cross again for this month, like we did last month. We have an extra message here that my two little friends over here are holding from the Akashic Records cards, which I will read after the main reading. I will read it out of the book for you. I'm not going to go into the astrology side of it too much, but I will give you the new moons and full moons for the month of June. So on the 3rd of June, we have a new moon in the sign of Gemini. And on the 17th of June, we have the full moon in Sagittarius. Gemini is going to play a big part in our month of June. Gemini is it's a sign that governs communication. And also Mercury is moving into the sign of Gemini. I think at the end of May. Give or take, and so the end of May or beginning of June. You can look it up anyway. The rest of the astrology on that, I put other people that are professional astrologers. I post them on my page, which you can go back and look at for the astrology of the week or the month coming up, sort of thing. So that being said, we'll get straight into your reading. Like I said, I've already shuffled the cards and split the deck. And if you didn't know, when I pick my cards, I use my pendulum here, which is it always tells me that when I shuffle the cards and I split the deck, if the cards are the right one for whichever life path number I'm doing. The same with the Akashic Records. It picks the Akashic Record for you. So as I place the cards down, I will tell you the placements of the cards and what it means. So here we go for Master number 22s. This is you yourself. This is the card or challenge card crossing you. This is your foundation, your past card, your present card, your future card, which has been coming up a lot. This is you yourself, your environment, your hopes and fears, and your final outcome card. Interesting spread, but if I need to clarify any cards, I will use the rest of the deck. The card at the bottom, we have divine guidance, so that's just a little extra message. Usually I always look at the card at the bottom. When I say interesting, you've got 3 queens sitting here on the table and a decision coming up. So we'll start with the first 2 cards here, and this card here is you, and it's the 6 of Raphael. It says, embrace your inner child, new friends or rekindled relationships, children or childhood. So any one of those are in play for June at this moment. So this card is the 6 of Cups in the normal tarot cards, or the Rider-Waite deck, if you like. The cards we're actually using are the Archangel Tarot cards, so they're basically very similar to the Rider-Waite. They're just depicted differently, but it's with archangels instead of, just the Rider-Waite characters sort of type thing. With the 6 of Raphael here, this is, embracing your inner child. There could be new friends coming onto the scene or rekindled relationships. Anything to do with children or from your childhood. This can be old relationships coming back, old friendships, people that you went to school with, primary school. It can be high school, college, anything like that. It can also be people that you you lived on the same street as them and you grew up together. Anything like that could happen. It might only be a fleeting sort of moment, but we'll see where we're going with this one. The card that is crossing you is the Queen of Gabrielle. She's passionate, charming, brilliant, and independent. And it reads at the bottom, you can do anything right now. Go after what you want, the ability to attract helpful people. So that's the Queen of Gabriel there. And I don't know why they're telling me to point out this cat here. So maybe you have a cat totem, something like that. But yeah, this card has been coming up in a few readings. But for your reading, for some reason, my eyes went down to this cat here. So just keep that in mind. But it says, you know, this is the card that is crossing you. This is your challenge. Your challenge is that you can do anything right now if you put your mind to it. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people. So you have the ability also to attract people into the situation that can help you. And that is your challenge. Your foundation card here is also a queen, and it's the Queen of Michael. It says, brilliant, self-reliant, insightful and humorous. You know exactly what to do, the benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. So both of these cards are talking about doing something career-wise that you've been thinking about, I'd say, maybe since childhood even. It says you can do anything right now, go after what you want. It says you know exactly what to do, the benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. So that card there, the Queen of Michael, is in your foundation. So that's your foundation for June. We'll go into your past card here because it's also a queen. So these queens can represent people in your life. One of them could be you. The Queen of Ariel here says mature, practical, generous and happy. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful, practical and wise advice. So that's your past card. This is what you basically had in your past, or coming out of your past. This is what you've been working on perhaps for the last month, the last couple of months. But if you have a look at the scenery there, it's quite an opulent scenery. Like she's dressed all in gold. Everything is a gold chandelier. You know, there's beautiful roses here. There's a table here laden with all finery sort of type thing. It looks like it's all been placed out meticulously sort of type thing. This is your past card. This is you nurturing yourself and those you love. You know, this is having a party sort of type thing, or a dinner party sort of thing. Nurturing your family, inviting them for meals, doing all the things that queens do sort of type thing. Nurturing those you love, so to speak. But it's also practical and wise advice. This person could be somebody around you, like a mother figure, that has given you practical and wise advice. Go now to your present card, which is the Ten of Gabriel. This is another one that's been coming up quite a bit in the life path readings. Tens are always ends of cycles, and I call this card in particular my Cinderella card. It says at the bottom, ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load. Working too many hours, trying too hard to please others. That's why I call it my Cinderella card, if you know the story of Cinderella. And this also is talking about asking your angels for helpful people. The card crossing you is the ability to attract helpful people. So that's quite a good card to be crossing you, because the people are there. You've just got to attract them. And it's telling me that you have that ability to attract helpful people to lighten your load. If you're working too many hours, what it says on this card is ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load. So you've had quite a bit sort of going on. The one kind of thing that always sticks out with me with this card is trying too hard to please others. It's a good thing to try and please others, but when you get stuck into the rut where you're not nurturing yourself, how can you nurture others? Especially this one here with this card. It says nurturing yourself and those you love. Maybe it's time to come out of that past card and start nurturing yourself, because if you have no more no more steam in the tank, how do you nurture yourself when you're done trying to please everybody else? You have nothing left for yourself. It's always a big one with this card. So try and get in some nurturing to yourself. Take care of yourself, look after yourself, and that way you can look after other people. It's one thing I've been struggling with for a few years, trying to please everybody. At the end of the day, you please nobody, because you're not actually filling your life purpose. And they're usually the people that you are trying to please take you for granted anyway. So that's a big sort of message on that card, but that's an end of a cycle for you to work through. But definitely, with this crossing card here, you can do anything right now. Go after what you want, the ability to attract helpful people. So it's kind of telling me, this is your time now. This is time for you. Your future card here is the Three of Ariel, and it's another one that has been coming up a great deal. With the three of Ariel, it reads, do what you love, a time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavours, working with others in a cooperative manner. Now that's your future card. That's where you're headed. And this card usually is the Three of Pentacles in the normal tarot, and it depicts a master craftsman being noticed for his skill and ability in his craft, or his endeavours, be it, artistic endeavours or your career. But it's also saying working with others in a cooperative manner. If you're still trying too hard to please others, this is where I say, this card can get you into trouble. It's okay to please others, but at the end of the day, this is a time to do what you love, not what others love. A great time for personal growth in your career, artistic endeavours, working with others in a cooperative manner. So that's where you're heading in the future. There are a lot of people here in, like the Three Queens here in your reading. These could be all the people that you're trying to please. Going back to your middle card here, the Six of Raphael, it's telling you to embrace your inner child, new friends, rekindled relationships, children or childhood. So something to do with around that. That's kind of the state that you need to be in, have a bit of fun in life instead of being Cinderella here, looking after the ugly sisters sort of type thing. We'll go straight into this card here, as it explains what I'm trying to say here, and it's the Eight of Michael. Now with the Eight of Michael, he's standing, and this girl has made a brave decision to open these gates and free herself. It reads at the bottom, you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. This is like self-imposed imprisonment sort of type thing. You can be free, but you just need to make that courageous choice to free yourself. Free yourself from trying too hard to please others, from lightening your load. That's a choice, bringing in people to lighten your load. But like this card with the Queen of Michael in your foundation that says, you know exactly what you need to do and the benefit of experience. But this is definitely coming into a time of your career rather than relationships, rather than all these people that you're trying to please. I think I'm definitely going to have to pull some clarifying cards on this. We're going to go to your environments card here, and it is the Six of Gabriel, okay? It says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to your next project, awards, scholarships, or promotions. So that's your environment. This is where you're sort of heading, you just need to free yourself from all these other obligations, I think. And this new endeavour, or what does it say? Awards, scholarships, or promotions are going to come up. But it's a choice, you can stay behind those gates, or you can open them and you're free, It's not hard work opening these gates. It's just having to make that courageous choice. So guys, I'm just going to turn my heater off because it's a bit warm in this room today. Well, it is now that I've had the heater on anyway. Your hopes and fears card here is the Page of Raphael. And the pages are always messengers, and this card has also been coming up a lot in the Life Path readings for June. And it says, gentle, loving, dreamy, and open-hearted. A new emotional situation, messages regarding relationships or social invitations, great intuitive insights. I'm just going to go back to this other Raphael card here. This can be the social invitations, getting together with friends or new friends or children, somebody from your childhood. But there's definitely news and messages coming in about some social invitation. But it's definitely also about a new emotional situation. This new emotional situation will come about when you free yourself from these other situations to make the time to do this. But I think you'll make that decision. Because your final outcome card is actually the decisions card, Two of Michael. It says, it will all be better if you just make a decision. Over analysing a problem, find a compromise. So this is where I say I'm going to pull some clarifying cards on this one. But like it says, once you make this decision, once you make this decision, life will be a hell of a lot better for you. I'm going to clarify the Two of Michael now. And this card was actually on the bottom of the deck, and that's the card that we pulled. It's called Divine Guidance, and it's with Archangel Sandalphon. And it says, the search for meaning in life, consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. So it's funny how, see what I mean with the card at the bottom of the deck. I had a quick sneak peek at it, and this was the card that we got as a clarifier for the Two of Michael. So when you're running around and you have too much to do, you don't receive the divine guidance. When you clear your mind of all the chatter and I have to do this and I have to do that and working too many hours and not seeing things clearly, just trying to look at all these cards. Even the Queen of Michael here says, you know what to do. Make that choice. I'm still going to pull some more clarifying cards, but it's like, you need to still the mind and ask for that divine guidance. A little trick I learnt a little while ago is before I go to bed and I have a question that I need answers to or I need the divine guidance for, I ask my angels before I go to sleep at night and they give me the answer usually in a dream, but usually the next day I will have that divine guidance. I will have that answer. So leave a pad and a paper and a pen beside your bed once you've asked for this divine guidance, so you can write it down as soon as you wake up and remember it. It can be a 2 or 3 minute dream. It can be like somebody's talking to you in your dream. They're giving you the divine guidance or the message. You've got the page here. You've got a messenger card here. The guidance is there for you. Write it down so you don't forget it, because once you wake up in the morning you think, I was supposed to remember that, what happened. But yeah, you can't remember for the life of you. One more card, please. And that's the one. It's another major arcana card, and it's the Justice card, which is with Archangel Raguel. And it says, fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favour. Don't give up. So whatever this involves, it's usually with the Justice card, this is like the legal system, legal documents, can be contracts. There's a lot of sort of room for this one, but it's basically you're fighting for the justice of you to do what you want to do. Maybe there's somebody in your life that maybe doesn't want you to change, doesn't want you to not stop, they don't want you to stop trying to please them and all this sort of type thing. But this is your choice whether you do it. It's not their choice. This is your life, not theirs. I don't know why I said that on this card, but that's kind of what I felt, like it says, don't give up. You can do this. You know exactly what to do. You've got the foundation card here telling you know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience. So don't second guess yourself. I'm going to pull one more clarifying card. It's a good card too, and it's the Four of Gabriel. This card says, a time for a celebration, abundant rewards for hard work, release yourself from burdensome situations. Ha ha ha, guess what I've just been saying? These are burdensome situations that you need to release yourself from. You've got all these cards here saying that, you can make a courageous choice to rid yourself of these burdensome situations. It's entirely up to you, whether you want to carry on as Cinderella here, or whether you want to have a joyful celebration, that you've actually made this choice. This is you making this choice. Once you've made the choice, you've got the Four of Gabriel here. Sorry if I can get these cards right. Saying it's time for a celebration, abundant rewards for hard work, release yourself from burdensome situations. I know we had to go the long way around it to get this card, but there it is in black and white, or in orange, as the Gabriel cards are orange. So I think that in a nutshell has given us all the guidance we can get out of those cards. But just remember, you've also got this card here in your environment that says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project. So it'll be interesting to see what your Akashic Records card is, and that's what we'll turn over next. And it says, it's the Three of Roses, Loving Elementals. So I'm just going to grab the book to read this one. As I hold it up, you can have a look at the picture there. Hopefully there's no glare on it. And it says, loving elementals, playful fairies and water spirits frolic in the air around a little child. Six of Raphael here, this feeling childlike and that sort of type thing. Around a little child. They fill the air with expanding joy and happiness. Although many people don't believe in the elementals, nature spirits of all kinds do exist, and they have more power than can be imagined. They live in the elements of earth, air, wind, and fire, and they're willing to share their guidance, well-being, and inspiration of the Akashic records that exist in the natural world. This card is here to tell you that joy will soon be increasing. It is also encouraging you to remember to have fun. Just going to turn the page. It says, bring more playfulness into your daily life. Let yourself sing a little and laugh a lot. Call on the elementals to inspire you in this and in other areas. They are a font of fun and upliftment that can expand the joy in your life in great measures. So that's that card there. It's a pretty good reading actually for, tying in. There's a little exercise that goes with the Akashic records, and it's telling you to close your eyes and feel the air abuzz with the flight and dance of elementals all around you. Feel yourself smile in the happy lightness of being they bring. Every time you take a moment to do this, you open your heart to joy. So that's just a little exercise that you can do with that Akashic records for Joan, is to bring more joy into your life. That's what you're seeking. This is, this is why you've got this card of Six of Raphael in the middle is your first card. It's telling you to bring more, be more childlike, bring more joy into, your life. Be happy, dance, sing, do things that are fun. Life can be too damn serious most of the time. But even with this card here, it's telling you, once you've made this decision, it's a time for a celebration, abundant rewards for hard work. Yes, it is hard work changing things in your life. But, you've got to release your burdensome situations. And sometimes when you, like this card says, when you're happy and joyful and, you're feeling light, it makes it a lot easier. That's what you want to be 24/7. So call in the elementals and they will help you. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave your reading there for Master number 22s for June. I'm hoping to be back to do mid-June readings, but if not, I will be back to do the July Life Path readings anyway. So I wish you a joyful and very happy June. Bring in those elementals to make it happen. And remember that you can also call on archangels. But in the Akashic Records card here, you've got the elementals that you can work with. So have a happy June, and I look forward to hearing all about your happy June in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, or just let me know, what you thought of the spread. So I'm going to leave it there, and we'll talk again all soon. But yeah, just bring that joy into your life. It's not that hard to do. From my friends over here, my little dragon friends, we'll sign out now and say catch you all soon.